Hi there, my name is Dan, and I founded Breezy Laundry Lockers in 2012. Since then, we have not only designed, battle tested, and redesigned a range of smart locker systems, but we learned a lot about the business itself through experience. We understand the major challenges involved and how to overcome them. It is now our purpose to help people and organizations create profitable laundry locker businesses as easily as possible without having to reinvent the wheel or make the same mistakes that we did. So, in this video, I'm going to talk to you about what laundry lockers are and how they work for customers, some of the applications for laundry lockers and where they are installed, the steps to find laundry locker locations, and some useful tips and tricks that will save you time and money, the types of lockers and locks that are available, the software requirements and key operational factors to consider, how to market your laundry lockers once they're installed, and return on investment. So what you're looking at spending and the return that you can expect. So, for those of you that don't know, laundry lockers are a highly convenient and easy to use drop off and pickup for laundry and dry cleaning, available 24/7. The main benefit for customers is convenience. So, for a few reasons. Laundry lockers are generally right at people's doorstep, meaning that they can avoid a trip to the store or organizing to meet a pickup and delivery driver. They are also open 24/7, which means that they can drop off and pick up when it suits them. And it's a very Uber-like experience. It's a very clean experience. Everything's automated. Payment is done online. They receive their receipt online and that sort of thing. Now, from a business perspective, laundry lockers give you one of the best ways to grow your business and get more customers, one of the highest return on investments in the industry. They also make delivery and pickup much more efficient, meaning that you can pick up 5 orders and you can drop off another 5 in one visit. And finally, with the right help and setup, which is where we come in, they are at very low touch. So they require next to no maintenance, and a lot of the processes, customer communication, payment, that sort of thing are automated. Now, the way that they work is customers lock their garments in any open locker. They order through the app that's linked to your website, and then once the cleaning is being picked up, cleaned and delivered back to the lockers, they receive a notification to let them know what locker their order is in and the code to open it. Now, in terms of applications and where they're installed, one of the best places to put laundry lockers is in an existing laundromat or dry cleaner for a few reasons. Now, they can help you increase the opening hours of your store. They're obviously fully automated and can stand alone without attendees. They can give your customers a faster experience, so customers don't need to wait for attendees to book garments in, book orders in over the counter, or to pay over the counter. They can walk in the store, drop something off, or pick something up very quickly, and they can help you extend your product lines. So, for example, a laundromat can partner with a local dry cleaner and offer dry cleaning services through the same locker banks. Now, private locations include places like apartment buildings, offices, gated communities, and universities. Now, they're probably one of the most popular places to install lockers because the exclusivity that you get with a partnership with a building gives you access to a very captive market. So you become the most convenient place to drop off and pick up laundry and dry cleaning right at those people's doorsteps. Finally, building managers and owners are generally looking to improve the lifestyle of residents in those buildings, and most of them won't expect rent to have your system installed in their buildings. So you essentially get a rent-free drop-off and pickup point that's very efficient right at the doorsteps of your customers. So finally, lockers can also be installed in public locations. So these include places like shopping malls, supermarkets, and gas stations. The main benefit for public locations is that you have access to a bigger market. So lockers are obviously accessible to everybody, and also it's a little bit easier to secure these locations because management are generally commercially motivated. Now, another popular trend in the industry being picked up by companies like Tide is creating or converting fully automated laundry locker retail stores like the store that you see here on the right. The store on the right is a store that we converted, and it's open 24/7, and there are zero labor costs apart from the pickup and delivery driver. Now, when it comes to finding good locations, there are four major steps. So the first step being market research, getting an understanding of what's out there and what opportunities there are. Second step is prospecting locations, so determining the potential value of those locations and doing some of the groundwork. Third step is making proposals and making sure you pitch properly so you don't waste opportunities. And creating agreements and making installations official. Okay, so the first step is your market research and getting a good understanding of potential locations. Now, one of the most efficient ways of doing this by far is using a tool called D7 Lead Scraper. So D7 allows you to enter keywords like apartments or offices, supermarkets, shopping malls in your target city. Once you hit go, D7 gives you an Excel spreadsheet, which contains the building names, the websites, email addresses, contact numbers, and the LinkedIn pages of all of those buildings in your area. Now, it is easily one of the best ways to get a really quick snapshot of your market and to get a list of prospects and contact numbers without having to do hours of research. This is something that I wish I knew about years ago. Now, the second step of finding locations is prospecting them. So this is where you find out how much opportunity there is in a building. The best way to do this is to just give the property a call, ask to speak to building management, briefly describe what the laundry lockers are. Now, it's very important to keep in mind that this is not a sales call, so don't think of it like one. Building managers are generally gatekeepers. Some have more sway than others, but they're typically not decision makers. Tell them that you're preparing a proposal for the owners and ask for a chance to visit the building. Once you're in the building, this will give you a chance to get an idea for the potential for laundry lockers. So take note of the size of the building, the residents or the tenants that live there, find out if they're your ideal clients or not. Visiting the building will also give you a chance to build a little bit of rapport with the building manager. It's always useful to have. Find out who the decision makers are and also to take pictures of a few potential locations. So that'll help you build your proposal. Now, after you've got a good understanding for the building, you're going to need to put together a really good pitch to make sure that you get your best shot at getting your permission to install. Now, this is where we can help. This is one of the first stages where we can help. We can provide you with everything that you need to secure an agreement within a property, including the agreement itself. Firstly, the first thing that you will need is a well-designed and easy-to-digest commercial pitch deck. The pitch deck is used to explain in very simple terms what the laundry lockers are and how they work, some of the benefits for residents or tenants. Usually also contains things like frequently asked questions asked by building management, like how much space you require or if you require any building utilities. So we can create that commercial pitch deck for you with your brand and your color scheme based on pitch decks that we have successfully used in the past. Next, you're going to need a more formal proposal to accompany that pitch deck, and it usually includes a direct address to the building owners itself. You put things like the name and address of the building. You also include things like descriptions and pictures of potential locker locations that you took when you were prospecting the building. So after you've submitted the pitch deck and the proposal letter, building management, we usually do a little bit of background research on the company. So it's best to have a website that's focused on laundry lockers so that they can learn more about how the service works and the pricing, etc. So we can build you this laundry locker website to give them something to review. The website's built with your logo and your color scheme, and it's designed to be fully functional and give you a professional online presence. So a very useful step. Finally, the fourth step is to get an agreement signed. So once you have researched the market, once you've prospected the buildings, you've submitted your proposal, they have asked for you to submit an agreement for them to review. This is where you would either, well, I guess you could include the agreement in the proposal, but it's usually best to wait. But it's important to have things legally binding and professionally locked in once you have permission to install the lockers. Now, the agreement that we can provide covers off key terms like the space you acquire in a building and if you need to connect to the building's utilities. It not only makes things official, but taking the time to get an agreement signed definitely affects your return on investment. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this later, but it has a big impact on the line. Now, as part of the sales material that we offer, we include this agreement that you can use to cover. From scratch, it would cost you at least a few $1,000s to create one from scratch using a local lawyer, so there's a lot of value there. Now, the laundry locker that you've seen on your screen is our version 8 multi-purpose laundry locker designed for a large variety of dry cleaning and laundry orders. It has a Z-shaped interior that allows people to hang long garments in both the top and the bottom compartments. It has a flat surface, square doors with no rivets or hinges. Now, this is important because it not only makes the lockers look better than lockers with grooves and hinges, but it makes it much easier to install decals on their surface. Gives you a much nicer finish. It also has custom features like gas-powered hinges to keep locker doors closed and tidy in buildings' foyers. So we found that many customers leave doors hanging open after retrieving their orders, and regular hinges mean that the lockers end up looking like a mess. Inside the foyer, it's not a good look. Also, the lockers are made out of a thicker steel to give them a quality feel and to reduce the chance of any dents appearing. And being 90 pounds each, it means that once bolted together, they don't have to be secured to a building. So you don't need to bolt them down or bolt them to a wall. Now, each locker contains high-quality RFID locks with a keypad. The owner gets a master RFID key that can open the locker no matter what the combination. Now, our lockers and locks come with a 5-year warranty and require next to no maintenance over that time, apart from keeping them clean. Now, we also have other variants of lockers depending on your situation. We have a long locker door that is more suitable for dry cleaners in colder climates where their customers have a lot of long coats that require dry cleaning. And we also have wash and fold only lockers that are a bit wider, and they're made specifically for wash and fold orders only. Now, finally, I have something really cool that I want to just show you. That is a new locker called the Express Drop Locker that you see on the right here. Express Drop Lockers are installed in public locations with a high volume of orders, and they reduce the number of lockers required at a location because they can be used by multiple customers at once. So once customers have signed up to your service and they have a VIP bag, they simply drop their garments in that Express Drop, and they don't have to find an open locker or use the app to make an order. It's just in and out. So orders are picked up by the driver from the bottom locker and delivered back into a standard locker when they're delivered. Now, the software manages things like customer communication, payment, driver routing, and so on. There are a few options out there, including some systems you're potentially currently using. And what's important is to ask yourself a few sort of key questions to determine what solution or what variant of existing solutions are right for you. So some of those questions include, do you have an existing point of sale system? Does it have an existing laundry locker module? Do you have an existing pickup and delivery service, or are you partnering with a dry cleaner or a provider to provide that service? Are you a dry cleaner or a laundromat? There are a few sort of subtle differences there. Do you want something expensive with a bunch of bells and whistles, or do you want something that just works and works well? Now, we can help talk through some different options and choose something right for you. And also, more than likely, we can probably get you some free licenses. So after this video, you'll see my contact details and you can contact us through there. Okay, so once you've got some good locations installed, your lockers, so you've got your lockers set up and you've got your software ready to go, you're going to want to attract and convert some customers. So this is where we can help also by providing you with all the marketing materials that you'll need that has been proven to attract and convert customers. Now here there are sort of three main areas that you need to consider. So you need to think about how you present the lockers themselves, some of the on-site marketing. So this includes sort of everything that you would do from a marketing perspective at the location where your lockers are installed, and some of the online marketing. Now, firstly, it's very important to make use of the locker surface in the building, because if set up properly, the good locker decals will attract and convert customers for years. It's also one of the most cheapest and most effective ways to advertise the service and make it known to residents in the building. So it's important that the decals are really simple and they get to the point with a glance, so people get an idea of what they are and what they do. You don't want to bombard people with information here. Now, we have a marketing pack where we provide around about 5 or 6 different options for decal designs, and then we customize them for you to suit your brand and your color scheme. We then give you printable versions and the correct dimensions of the lockers, and connect you with good quality, low-cost printing services. Now, next to brochures that are attached to the locker banks. So the brochures, they're not essential if you have good decals, but I think that they help with conversion. So this is where you can put a little bit more information into the decals to help people understand some of the kind of key questions that are involved. Now, within our marketing pack, we also designed these brochures for you, and they feature your brand and color scheme and pricing and that sort of thing. You're ready to print. The next thing is the on-site marketing. So on-site marketing is limited by what different buildings allow you to do. So in the building agreement we request maximum exposure so that you've covered everything in this regard. But one of the best things to do is to get permission to install on-site signage in strategic locations, places like mail rooms or service entrances. Elevators is a great one. So this signage, if set up permanently, is a really good, low-cost way to advertise the service to residents over time. So if they're not in a location in the building where they can see the lockers regularly, it's great to have these signs to make sure that you get full exposure. Now, one of the most effective things that you can do to advertise the lockers and the service is to run an on-site promotion. So whether or not either you or a representative go on site here, it makes not much difference. It's usually better if you go. But you can go once or so. Organizing a promotion sort of once or twice a month means that you get a chance to meet the residents and explain the service. It's a really good and proven way to attract customers and to convert them for life. So get lifetime customers. Now, as a part of our marketing pack, we design all of this promotional and marketing material for you to make sure that you're using something that has been tried and tested. Okay, so finally we have online marketing. Now, if you're going to start a laundry locker business, it's really crucial that you have a good-looking website that converts. So almost all of your customers will come here to learn more about the service before they sign up. It's important to include on the website and to cover off exactly how the service works in the most simple way possible. You also need to include frequently asked questions, things like turnaround time, and some of your service policies and your pricing. You also need to ensure that your sign up and make an order buttons are clearly visible on the desktop and mobile without customers needing to scroll down. So some people will just want to jump onto the website and make an order right away. So you don't want to make it hard for them to do that. Now, if you have public locations, it's very important to set up some of your online marketing, specifically Google, things like Google Tag Manager and AdWords. Now, this will help you grow the business significantly. So, for example, we did this in some of our stores after running them for about a year, and sales went up by around about 15 to 20% within a week. So it's really important to get this set up and get this set up properly. Okay, so obviously one of the most important things to think about before investing in laundry lockers is your return on investment. So firstly, this isn't an exact science, and there are some variables. Obviously, every business is different, and these variables need to be taken into consideration. Some of the main ones are your products, your pricing, and your market. So products and pricing are basically what you're selling and how much you're selling compared to competitors. It's going to roughly determine the sales volume and margins. Market variables could be how your systems and services you provide are positioned relative to your target market. So, for example, if you have lockers in a really prominent position with an upscale apartment building filled with working professionals, then you're going to get more dry cleaning orders compared to if you had lockers installed in a university where demand for wash and fold services is higher. So I have a really simple formula here to give you an idea for cost and return. Figures here are based off known costs, so we know how much the lockers cost and how much it roughly costs to install lockers, and our own average historical data on revenue generated per location. So firstly, for one locker bank, now this means a set of lockers and locks costs roughly around about $1,000 to install. This includes multiple lockers, decals, brochures, that sort of thing. Now, each location could earn anywhere between $500 to $3,000, depending on the size of the building and the location of the lockers and the type of marketing and advertising you're doing in that building. But there's around about an average of about $800 to $1,000 per month if set up and marketed properly. Now, this means that if you had a margin of about 30%, then you get a return on that investment within 3 to 4 months, so pretty good. Now, obviously, having extra income coming from these locations is great, but what I would urge is to consider the value that the lockers or a location will bring to the business as a whole. So, for example, if you had an $800 per month contract, a fair valuation given a 1.5 to 3 times multiplier would mean that your potential buyer, so if you was to sell that business, a buyer of that contract would be worth anywhere between $14,000 to $28,000. So, in summary, Breezy can help you find and convert laundry locker locations. We can provide the lockers and locks that you need. We can help set up some of the systems and some of the software, and we can help you market your services once the lockers are installed. If you would like to find out more, you can email me at dan@breezyll.com or contact@breezyll.com to reach out to one of our team. And further information can be found on our website, breezyll.com. So, thanks a lot for watching.